The January 13th episode of Monday Night Raw almost lacked a complete sense of continuity from last week's debut show and simultaneously entertained and confused fans. Today on the Bryan Breakdown, I'll be discussing the debut of Penta, what's up with the transfer portal, and Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. While you're here, be sure to give us a follow on Instagram and Threads where we cover wrestling shows live. First up, Penta El Cero Miedo is officially in WWE. In one of the most telegraphed events in recent WWE history, Penta made his debut to WWE to answer Chad Gable's challenge to the best luchador. Anyone with a working internet connection and spent even a sliver of time online could have told you who Chad Gable's opponent would be. The match itself was given ample time for both competitors to work their magic and had a main event feel to it. The San Jose crowd was fully invested. Both men traded momentum over the course of the match, which, in my opinion, was brilliant. Some people were upset that it wasn't a Gable squash, but I wasn't. The way the match was set up allowed for both men to actually showcase their skills, which was perfect for a debut. This would have not been the case if they only afforded the men a minute and a half to run the match. Notable spots include Gable's German to the apron, the overhead suplex to the turnbuckle, and Penta's Mexican Destroyer. Chad Gable was the perfect opponent for Penta. Their styles contrasted well. Both men are excellent in-ring technicians, and Chad Gable can sell cigarettes to a lung doctor, as seen with the Mexican Destroyer. The Penta driver is truly a thing of marvel and is currently one of my favorite finishes in all of wrestling. The Penta and Gable match goes to show that predictable doesn't always mean bad. I just hope that the LWO does not come to Penta's aid when American Made eventually and inevitably jumps him, and instead it's another babyface team. Next up, what's going on with the transfer portal?
Wyatt Six have been moved to SmackDown.
The transfer portal is reaching superstar shakeup levels of bad, and it's time to talk about it. It was first mentioned on the December 6th SmackDown, and Josh and I both welcomed it. Both shows could use some freshening up, especially on the SmackDown side of things. The championship picture in almost every division has felt hollow and or stale for quite some time. The transfer portal was advertised as a way for talent to find a new home and bring about fresh and exciting matchups ahead of both shows moving to new homes themselves. That said, next of none of that has been accomplished. Chad Gable fought Cody Rhodes in a short 2-week program, but returned to Raw. Dominic Mysterio was seen talking to Adam Pearce several weeks ago, as was Gunther. Braun Strowman, the Wyatt Six, and he, who shall not be named, are the only concrete transfers. No other star has made the big leap to the other show, and that is being used as a plot device for Nia Jax. Why was she on Raw declaring that she was entering the Royal Rumble during an already tired Rhea Ripley segment? This did not expressly pertain to Raw. Also, Nia Jax is currently embroiled in a storyline feud with Tiffany Stratton, who betrayed her and took her WWE Women's Championship from her. One of Nia Jax's biggest flaws has been her character's lack of logic, especially since she's won the Queen of the Ring, teaming with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez despite being screwed over a crown jewel, and now randomly challenging Rhea Ripley when her priority should be elsewhere, on Tiffany Stratton and regaining her championship. Nia showing up on Raw essentially told me as a viewer that she's not getting her championship back. The segment could have easily been salvaged provided Nia stated that after she got her championship back, she was going to win the Royal Rumble and take Rhea Ripley's to unify the belts at WrestleMania. This should not and will not happen, but it at least would be logical as to why she was there issuing a challenge. And later in the main event, finally, the highly anticipated match between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. They faced off in what is only their 7th encounter, despite it feeling like their 300th in a tribal combat match. Excuse me, I misspoke, but with how templatized the match was. Solid match, heel interference, babyfaces neutralizes the heels, resolution. It felt like Damian and Finn were fighting for the Ula Fala. That said, the match over-delivered, and I hope this caps off their feud for the foreseeable future. Kendo sticks, chair contraptions, and several table spots made the match stand out among recent main events. My favorite spot from the match was without a doubt Damian's broken arrow through the tables that put Finn on a stretcher. Of course, a cameraman was conveniently crouched to catch the impact. I also like Damian leaning into his darker side. After Finn was wheeled up the ramp on a gurney, he shoved the gurney back to the ring and continued the beating. This was a throwback to the Attitude Era babyface or tweener. Think Undertaker, Kane, Austin, The Rock. They were good guys at times, but they were all about dealing pain to those who had crossed them. John Cena would have never done this. This was very refreshing and seemed to signal that Damian was about as tired of the feud as we were of seeing it. In an ideal world, the transfer portal would separate the two, with Finn being the biggest beneficiary. Damian may have won the match, but it could be argued that this was the strongest that Finn has looked over the duration of their feud. With the quality of his work and his comfort on the mic growing since he's join the Judgment Day faction. I hope reports that have surfaced that Finn Balor is set to get a huge push in 2025 are true. For more great wrestling content, be sure to check out new episodes of the Too Smart Marks Wrestling Show every Saturday, as well as like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other great content that we have to offer. Until then, we'll see you next time.